Welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody, I'm DC, and this is Out of the Fog. We're just a local matter show across the province, bringing all the movers and shakers together to talk about art and business and community and all the things that add up to this province being a more successful place to live and work and just have a good time. And where would I be without the man to my left, the one and only Slim Macho? What's up, boy?
Hi, Happy New Year.
Back at ya.
Yeah.
I can't believe we made it.
How you doing? You look so different from last year. I know
Oh, you think so, yeah?
You've grown a lot.
I know. My hair is running away from my head, so that's probably what's different.
Well, that's all right. I know that you have no fear. It's from you facing all of your fears all the time.
Hey, buddy. And I've shaved my head twice for Shave for the Brave, which this season,
yes,
the campaign kicks off next month. And we're going to have the 2020 ambassadors coming through to talk about their connection to the cause as well.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm going to have to start growing mine out. I actually shaved mine last year and was like, you know what? I'm kind of digging on the shaved head. So when I shave it, it grows back at least, but it comes back a different color.
You're the silver fox this time around.
Yeah, it's happening. It's real.
So listen, talk about Plenty and your big plans for the year. What's on your mind?
Yeah. So great Christmas and New Year's. New Year's at Kitty Video, of course. It was fantastic. Staff there always treat me like gold.
They're amazing.
We had our first Dance Tantric event, the XXXmas Merry Christmas to everyone. So that was a great event. And we're holding another event now, February 14th, Valentine's on Venus, the Space Odyssey.
Wow.
And that'll happen at Velvet on the Day of Days. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I saw you a couple of times over the Christmas season as well.
I'm going to moonwalk past you a time or two. You know that dance floor and how we do.
I do know it, yeah.
I did actually take a lot of time to relax and get centered for the year ahead because there's so much going on, so many incredible people, and that reflects onto the show, guys, because we're looking forward to you tuning in and seeing all the incredible guests that we have that are doing so much to keep things going. And we'd love to have you on the show, too. So if you're doing anything that you'd love to make waves about and have people across the province know what you're doing, please get at us and the incredible volunteer and crew here at Rogers TV who do so much. Tonight's show is going to be just another wicked hee-haw. We got Elling from Unpossible talking about RPM. We have Gemma coming on to talk about their new book. And Ying is coming on to talk about the empower of people immigrating and integrating into the province. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after this break. Here we go.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
Woo! Go for a ride.
Awesome!
You're going to step up.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. It is Out of the Fog. As we mentioned before the break, it is our first episode back, and we're so glad you guys are joining us in the 20 times that you'll see it on the station this week and on YouTube and Facebook and all the spots. I am here with the one and only Gemma Hickey. How are you doing?
Good to see you, my friend.
So good. Now, you were on the show a while back, and we talked about so many exciting things. Yeah. And keeping that show going, you have a book.
I know, it's amazing. I can't believe it myself. I'm just so excited about it.
How many books are you planning to make in your life?
Well, I'm already working on my next one.
Oh, okay.
I ended this one so that I could kind of go right into the next book. But yeah, it's a memoir, so it was really intense to sift back through all these years and memories and, you know, the emotional excavation that I had to do, and it was cathartic, but it was pretty intense.
I'd say. And, you know, only half done your life, P.S. I don't know if anyone's told you, but you got another 40-odd years to rock.
Well, you're very sweet. I'm feeling my age now that I'm 43, but, you know, I know that I have a lot of life left in me, so I'm looking forward to that.
I know that. I want to ask you about the name of the book and the journey it took to go from idea to actually holding the thing in your hand. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I've been writing this book for a long time, and you know it's about my walk across Newfoundland, but not really about the walk itself. Right. As I'm walking, I'm thinking back to things in my childhood that inform my identity. So there's this transition in the book not just from a person transitioning into another gender, but also this movement of going back and forth from past to present, and also from one place to another. So it's really symbolic. Writing the book, I just had to do it like I did the walk. I had a number of kilometers that I had to do each day. And so I'm so busy now that I just literally had to carve out a chunk of time and day by day break it down to 3,000 words a day. And depending on whatever I had going on that day, I still had to meet that deadline. So I just used the training routine that I did for the walk in terms of, and applied that rather to my writing. So that worked. And I hammered it out, so it was intense, but I did it.
Imagine someone tuning into the show right now. In the first 2 minutes, we've just casually glazed upon transferring identity, walking across the province, on your second book, writing your first. I mean, they must be like, who is this person? And like, do they even sleep? So let's like peel it back for a moment, just to put it in lights for people watching at home. Walking across the province. Go.
Wow, I don't know what to say about that.
I think it's something.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and it took a lot out of me emotionally.
The reason you walked.
And the reason I walked, obviously, was I'm sure some people know, but I founded an organization called Pathways, the Pathways Foundation for survivors of clergy abuse. I was abused by a Roman Catholic priest when I was younger, and because of how hard that hit the island, here and all over the world, really, I wanted to form an organization, and I knew that I had to raise money and awareness. So I walked across the island, and I wanted to symbolize the tragic journey for many men who went to Mount Cashel by ending my walk at the Mount Cashel Memorial. And there were hundreds of people there to welcome me home after the 30 days. And we kind of, in a way, took back that space, and it was a joyous moment. And I wanted people to pay attention to the memorial, which is the 2 gateposts from the actual orphanage.
That's right.
It's the only living monument, really, to people who have experienced abuse in religious institutions.
Wow. And let's talk about how that journey has taken you farther than across the island, but all over the world, no less.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in Rome, lobbying with other survivors from all over the world during the Papal Summit. That was incredible for me as an activist to march through the streets of Rome with thousands of other survivors. Growing up on an island is kind of isolating for so many reasons, but I really felt, and also, the stigma of being abused by a priest, it can also be very isolating. But when I saw all these thousands of people there who had similar experiences, I really felt at home. I really felt like they were my church. So that was pretty incredible. And then I was in Japan and Germany and all over the place. So it's been pretty amazing the last few years have been incredible. I still feel like I'm on a journey, and there's really no end in sight. And I think a lot of people think if you transition that there's some end point to the journey, but there really isn't. I'm changing every day, and I'm loving it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. What an attitude for us all to adopt when it comes to evolution. I always talk about how change is scary and it's unknown and it's uncomfortable, but evolution is natural, and we tend to lean into evolving as people.
Totally.
And obviously, your journey in so many ways has been so well broadcast and tuned into by so many here locally and across the country. So back to the book. Obviously, you're dipping in and out of the allegory of walking across the province and changes in yourself, externally, internally. For anyone reading this book, what do you hope that they walk away with?
There's something for everyone in this book. It really kind of weaves in and out of so many different themes. I want survivors to know that they're not alone. I want people to know that they don't have to be defined by anything that happens in their past or present, essentially, that, you can change your life. Depends on how you want to look at it and where you want to go. And if you have a goal, you can realize it. And no matter what has happened in your life, it doesn't have to define you. You can surpass it. And, when I used my trauma as wings instead of chains, there was no limit to how high I could soar. And that's how I feel. And I hope that people really get that message from my book. And it's not a dark book. There's some dark moments in there, but there's a lot of humor for sure. And I'm real proud of it. So I'm donating half the proceeds of my royalties to Pathways.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I want people to know that. And it's very important to me to give back in that way, because that was what the walk was for. And I'm really excited too to announce that I'll be reading with so many other great authors at the Sparks Literary Festival coming up at the end of the month on campus. So I'm really excited about that.
Can we have a round of applause for Gemma? We're in our final moment. I feel so lucky to have you in my life in so many ways. You've been so inspirational to so many. I want people to find out where they can access your book.
Yeah.
Where can we get it?
Well, it's on the Breakwater Books website, obviously. You can go into the store at One Stamps Lane and Breakwater Books. Chapters, Kohl's, bookstores, Amazon, anywhere like that. You can order the book or buy the book. And yeah, I hope that people enjoy it, and I hope they buy it.
Yeah. So then we'll have a little reading moment later on, I suppose. We'll get into that book. We'll dig into it, you know? I'll write you back, let you know what I thought about it.
All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Guys, it's Gemma, and don't forget, if you Google Gemma, you're gonna get 18 pages of all the links of all the amazing things. Please check Gemma out and all the amazing things that they are doing to push boundaries and to be an ambassador and an advocate. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after this.
I'll see you after the function.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
Our son is one.
My father was one.
I am one.
Are you one?
Welcome back, everybody. It is Out of the Fog on Rogers TV, and I'm hanging out with the one and only Elling. What is up?
Yo, what's
so good
up?
to see you.
Good to see you.
I feel like it was yesterday we were hanging out. But
It
was
seems
actually,
like yesterday.
I feel like it was actually maybe a year and a half ago. And we're talking about Unpossible, which we will talk about again. But here we're talking about the annual creative challenge, and creative courage is what you taught me. And I think that line is so powerful. And it applies, in this case, to the RPM recording challenge. Now, why don't you tell people at home a little bit about that?
So the RPM challenge is a creative challenge to anybody to record an album of music in the month of February, and it's open to everybody. It's free. It's you don't have to be a musician to do it, but some established musicians use it as a way of stepping outside of their mode. But a lot of beginners get their first kind of steps into making music that way. Yeah, it's not a contest. It's a beautiful thing that started 15 years ago this year internationally. Yeah.
Get out. Where did it start?
It started in New Hampshire, a little town called Portsmouth.
Get out of here.
Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
How
yeah.
unlikely.
Yeah, and I was working at the Scope at the time.
That's right.
Myself and Brianna, we were running the Scope newspaper. And we were just looking around for inspiring newspapers in the world, and someone online mentioned this newspaper that was doing this thing for the first time, the RPM Challenge. I was like, what? This seems like it would work well here, and it did.
How many years have you been spearheading that initiative locally?
13 this year.
13 years,
this
wow.
This is the 13th, yeah. Lucky number 13, I suppose. Maybe, I don't know.
And how are you celebrating that?
Just doing it all again.
It's enough, Donnie. It's enough to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put a twist on it, you know? Well, I'll tell you what, it's been quite fascinating to see so many artists who have taken part in this initiative.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the impact it's had on me shortly. But when you think about the 13 years gone by, what comes into your mind?
Oh man, I just love how it makes people feel. Like, okay, so even people who don't do it, like just talking about it to them, saying like, oh, I do this thing, the RPM Challenge. I encourage people to make music in the month of February. And then I start talking to them about, like, do you play music? It's like, I used to. I have a guitar in my closet. I never really pull it out. I'm just like, why don't you do it? Like, there's no danger. It's like, you don't have to submit it. You just, like, if you love music, just spend some time doing that. And a lot of times people just light up, their eyes light up, and they're just like, yeah, I remember having fun with that, and it's just like, yeah, that's one of the coolest things that I think about it.
I bet.
That, yeah.
Hey, Slim,
Slim.
I would like you to make me an album.
Funny you should mention that because I have this RPM has been on my mind for years, and it's on a lot of people, like you said too, even people who don't do it. And this is the year I'm doing it this year, and I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to write everything, record everything, and like. It is a daunting task because there is a lot of equipment out there now, so people might feel buried under how to learn everything, and I still have things to learn, but I'm just going to go rustic, like guitar and record on cassette or something, but that's the joy of the RPM challenge too. It doesn't matter what your device, what your medium is, just make something creative, and like you said, it's Christmas, it's a gift to yourself, and then you get to share it with everybody at the end of the month, so I'm looking forward to it. Just letting go of all pretense.
We might have to document this over the month of February, and we might have to play a song at the end of the month and see what you done did.
Oh yeah, there you go. Pressure's on. Now I'm out of myself. Yeah, all right, it's happening. I promise. I'll make it happen.
So community-wise, how do people get involved in terms of signing up? What's the process?
Well, there's an international website, rpmchallenge.com, but locally there's a Facebook group, Newfoundland RPM Challenge Newfoundland and Labrador. Right. So you join that, and then that connects you with everybody else who's doing it in the province. Yep. And signing up on that website, you can also visit unpossible.co to sign up, which is the parent organization locally. For that.
Personal moment, recorded an RPM album with my bud Rich Sepka 5 years ago.
Gorgeous album.
Thank you so much. It was actually all the albums I've been a part of in my musical times. That was I was most proud of it. Meanwhile, 28 days to go from zero to hero with an album was insane. I didn't think it would be good at all, and at the end, it's the one I'm most proud of. But then I did another one with Kellyanne Evans one year, then the year later with a buddy of mine named Steve. And so much so did the first RPM album that we had done with Eras, which is the name of the band that me and my buddy put together, is that we just spent the last year and a half recording a follow-up to that album that comes out next month.
Amazing.
And so without the RPM and that challenge of creative courage, we never would have done that. You know?
Yeah, it gives people the opportunity to just play around and have fun with it. To really just do something that you want to do. It helps musicians like you just kind of reconnect with that fun part of making music.
Big time. Oh, and our final just 30 seconds just before we go to the break, I just want to remind everybody about, again, what I said at the beginning of our spot was something that you have brought to our community via Unpossible, an organization that promotes creative courage. And what does that mean to you?
Creative courage just means, reconnecting with that fun part of creativity. So just being not afraid of being creative. Often people they shut themselves down. They cut their legs out from under them before they can even do anything. So just fail over and over, and over.
And have fun doing it.
You don't have to show it to anybody, but you can fail so many times, and then eventually you might end up somewhere that you like.
Well, you're going to have to get up somewhere eventually.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll tell you what, Elling, check him out, Unpossible, an incredible organization that fosters creative courage. You have done so much for our community, and you continue to do. We're so thankful to have someone like you around pushing us forward. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and we're having a great time tonight talking to all different types of people. And I'm here now with my girl, Ying. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
Great to see you.
Nice to see you.
I know we just met,
yes,
but I have high hopes for the next 7 minutes. I really think it's going to go great.
I hope so, too.
I know so.
Thanks.
Because I'll have Slim mess it up on us. That's my only worry.
I'm the loose cannon over here.
You are. We can't control you. So I want to first start off by talking about the Board of Trade. So the St. John's Board of Trade is an amazing professional organization that does so much to connect, support, and celebrate all that happens under the umbrella of business. And so you entered the Board of Trade world via some exciting work that you're doing that we're going to learn all about in our segment. And so I'm going to ask you first, because you're involved in so many different things, why don't you first tell us about the organization, the business, of which you are a member of the Board of Trade? Your business.
Oh, I started a business. I am a licensed immigration consultant. So I started a business called Newfoundland Cultural Link and Immigration Services. I help people come to Newfoundland, immigrate to Newfoundland, and integrate to the community. And hopefully, all of them are like me, calling Newfoundland home.
I know you said that before the segment about how Newfoundland is home to you. And you've been here for how long?
I've been here for 10 years. Came 2009. Yeah, so I really love this place. This is really a peaceful and quiet place, and people here are super nice.
Have you been to George Street?
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about what bars you go to now in a second. What brought you here in the first place?
My first trip to Canada was 2006. I came with several other teachers to do a training program. And then I decided to come back again in 2009. But I said I wanted to go to a place where it's peaceful and quiet, and it doesn't have to be a big metropolitan city. But I wanted to go to a place that's really nice. So at that time, I saw Memorial University, and I said, this is the place I wanted to go to. So I studied here, graduated, and immigrated here, and then have been working with Memorial University for 8 years. And last year, I took this position with Atlantic Canada Study and Stay program, helping other international students to live, work, set up their own businesses, and stay calling Newfoundland home.
That's amazing. There's been quite a powerful narrative happening over the last few years as it pertains to the need that we have to evolve as a people and to invite more talented, amazing, skilled people from all over the world to come here to help us continue our mission to make Newfoundland and Labrador a successful place to live and work. How long before you came back here to live did you realize there was an opportunity for you to help so many more people come to live here in the province? Yeah. So how long was it before you said to yourself, I could be bringing more people over here because this is an amazing place to be? How did all of that happen? Just from living every day and interacting with the people? How did you get to where you are now?
I would have to say since the second month that I came here, because I was waiting for a bus. It was snowing heavily, and I was waiting for the bus, which never came. And then somebody just stopped and gave me a ride to the Village Mall, and I said, "Wow, this never happened in other places, and I love this." So I thought more people should come here, and I'm sure people who love peace and tranquility will enjoy this place. Newfoundland and Labrador, it has large geographical area, but not a big population.
True.
And people are extremely nice and welcoming here. So I hope more people are like me, will stay and live in this province.
I have to say, I'm shocked to hear that the bus never came.
That was a huge snowstorm that day. Yes. Well,
yeah, we had
it
our
probably
own...
just came right after I left.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll tell you what, I love the story. It's so sweet and so honest. And I can only imagine that when you got out of that person's car, that must have been a wow moment, because you're right, there are bigger places where people come and go and there's no friendship and no one's trying to reach out. Yeah. Do you think that's one of the things that our province has to offer that makes us special?
Yes, it's one of them. A lot of features of Newfoundland that make me love this place, Newfoundland Labrador, I should say. I was invited by my friend to get to know his friends, to have jigs dinner and all kinds of local food, cottons, flipper pies, things like that, all kinds of different things. There are lots of features for that. And you know what, later, after a few years, we gave ride to a few strangers on the road who obviously got lost.
Playing it forward.
Yes.
I love it. We're in our final moment before the show ends. I want people to know how they can get in touch with you so you can help them do what you love and what we need. So why don't you tell us more about that?
Okay, so I'm working for a program called Atlantic Canada Study and Stay NL program. It is for international students. We give them employment and entrepreneurial support through workshops, networking opportunities, and mentors. So we would love to have more mentors from the community, from the professional community, so that our international students can have meaningful connections, getting to know about the workplace and the culture here and integrate here.
Well, thank you so much. How do we get a hold of you through the web?
You can contact me by my email address, yingzhang@ienl.ca, or visit our website, www.atlanticcanadastudyandstay.com. You can call me or
Get at you through Instagram and Snapchat, I'm sure.
yes.
No.
Yes.
Or yes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show. This is Out of the Fog. Thank you to all of our guests tonight. And now me and Ying are going to talk about Mary Browns and how many big Marys we can finish off here next Monday. See you later, guys. Have a good one. So now, Mary Browns.
Come home, come home. Tell my mother I've come home. Tell my mother I've come home, come home. Tell my mother I've come home. Tell my mother I've come home, come home. Tell my mother I've come home.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Looking for great seats to all the action? Rogers Super Sports Pack delivers. With NBA League Pass, get up to 40 out-of-market games every week, all season long. More dunks, more slams, more to love, live in HD. NBA League Pass, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on channel 431 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
Hey, Gabe, we're supposed to be at City Hall.
We're gonna build it right here.
Yeah, sure. And give wetsuits to all the visitors?
No, on the water.
Hey, come on. We're talking about building something the size of 64 city blocks.
And there's no land left in Montreal.
So, get serious.
Listen, we'll build islands.
How? Dig up Montreal?
They're digging a subway, remember? You take it from there, and you put it here.
12 months and 25 million tons of fill later, St. Helens Island was reshaped and Ile Notre Dame was created.
Come on, we don't want to keep Mayor Drapeau waiting, do we?
Montreal's Expo 67. It would prove to be the most successful World's Fair of the 20th